Now at 10 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Victoria law enforcement investigates 2 separate deadly shootings in less than 24 hours. Plus, a week after the deadly flooding, heartbreak remains how a mural artist is honoring victims using storm debris. And Edna officials take action on a house they say is not safe to live in.
Well, it didn't rain today, and we're pretty glad about it. We need the time to sort of settle down and dry up. The Saharan dust was courtesy of that, and we'll be talking about how long that will last coming up in a moment.
And Victoria Generals are back home tonight versus the Brazos Valley Bombers. I'll provide tonight's highlights and the final score later in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry. Don Brubaker is off. A deadly shooting in Victoria has landed one man behind bars facing multiple charges. Just after 7:30 last night, officers found 51-year-old Jeffrey Delaney dead and 36-year-old Madeline Delaney seriously injured inside a home on Laurel Avenue. Minutes later, Victoria County Sheriff's deputies say 37-year-old Jacob Kelly aggressively approached them on Lavalier Street and assaulted both officers and a canine. He was arrested and later identified as the shooting suspect. Kelly now faces charges including murder, aggravated assault, and assault of a public servant. Police have not said what led to the shooting or how the victims knew the suspect. An autopsy has been ordered for a shooting victim found in a house on Diana Drive this morning. Victoria County Sheriff's deputies were called to the location where they found 39-year-old Mitchell Hubbard dead from what deputies describe as significant injuries. According to court records, Hubbard died Wednesday. An autopsy has been ordered as part of the investigation. While investigators say this was an isolated incident, they would not say if a suspect has been identified or any arrests made in the case. City crews in Victoria are working overnight to fix low chlorine levels that led to a citywide boil water notice Wednesday night. They are flushing water towers and hydrants and adding chlorine to get levels back where they need to be. Once that is done, the water will be tested, and if it passes, the boil notice could be lifted as soon as Saturday. In the meantime, residents should boil water for drinking, cooking, and brushing teeth. For updates, you can check the city's website, social media, or sign up for their alerts. So here's tonight's viewer poll. How are you handling the boil water notice at home? Are you boiling water as you're needing it? Are you buying bottled water, eating out more, or it hasn't affected you much? We want to hear from you. Go to crossroadstoday.com/vote to let us know. And pretty neck and neck buying bottled water or it hasn't affected you much. That's at 37%. 3% of people are eating out more to avoid having to mess with the water situation at home. So thanks to everyone who voted tonight. The Building and Standards Commission in Edna has deemed a house unlivable. A property owner and tenant own the house in the 200 block of Church Street. The commission is giving them 30 days to improve the condition of the home. Now, the tenant claims that she has made some repairs and is in the process of making more. City Manager Gary Brose says there are resources for those in a similar situation.
Communicate with us. We're not here to be the bad guys. We're here to try to work with you. Also, that we can help with some options, different agencies, different things, give them some different directions.
The Building and Standards Commission will require the home to be torn down if it is not in livable condition within 30 days. In Central Texas, at least 160 people are missing. For nearly a week, law enforcement and volunteers have worked tirelessly to find the victims of the devastating Central Texas flooding, as questions remain over the steps taken before the devastating flash flooding. At least 120 people have now died. Maribel Gonzalez is in Kerrville amidst the rescue and recovery work.
The FEMA task force set up a command center at the Guadalupe Keys RV Resort in Center Point, Texas Thursday, as volunteers and first responders continue to search along the Guadalupe River. It's nearly a week after that catastrophic flooding that devastated parts of Central Texas. And while some Kerr County residents try to recover and relive the horror,
I can't even imagine what those girls are going through or what they went through.
At least 160 people are still missing.
No stone is left unturned.
Questions remain over why there was a 6-hour delay in issuing a code red alert, a mass notification system used by some communities to send emergency alerts to residents' phones.
Is there any way we can send a code red out to our Hunt residents asking them to find higher ground or stay home?
10-4 standby. We have to get that approved with our supervisor.
While officials look into what happened, others are doing what they can to help. One mural artist and a crew of volunteers began creating a memorial along the Guadalupe River to honor the victims. The materials, scraps of debris from the disaster. Artist Roberto Marquez says he plans to create one memorial for each person.
And hopefully, once again, when those families come, they know that we were here and we care about them.
In Kerrville, Texas, I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Governor Greg Abbott is asking for more counties to be added to President Trump's major disaster declaration for the deadly flooding in the Hill Country. The governor is asking for Burnett, San Saba, Tom Green, Travis, and Williamson counties to be eligible for FEMA individual assistance programs, along with Kendall, Kimball, Menard, and San Saba counties to be eligible for FEMA's public assistance program. A review of damage assessments in those 9 counties shows they exceed federal criteria for disaster assistance. Well, the crossroads in most of the state of Texas are getting a little bit of a break from all of this rain that we have been seeing. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez for a first look at our forecast. Mac?
I'm promoting an idea, Shauna. You know, last weekend, 4th of July, was gloomy, doomy, and, obviously tragic. Why don't we have 4th of July this weekend when we're going to get a little bit of sun? Yes, the Saharan dust blew in and shut down all that rain chance. It's going to be here for a day or two, and then it's going to go away, but then there's more dust on its way, so that will give us some sunshine. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a moment.
Texas Senator Angela Paxton has filed for divorce from her husband, Attorney General Ken Paxton. She says recent discoveries led her to file on biblical grounds and accuses him of adultery. The filing also notes that they stopped living together in June 2023. Ken Paxton responded on social media saying they have decided to start a new chapter. The couple has been married 38 years. Paxton is currently running against Senator John Cornyn in the 2026 GOP primary. The Secret Service has quietly suspended 6 agents for the failures that led to last summer's attempted assassination of then-candidate Trump. The shooting happened during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, almost exactly 1 year ago. 2 people were killed, including the shooter. ABC's Christiane Cordero has details.
Days shy of the 1-year mark since the attempt on then-candidate Trump's life in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Take a look at what happened.
ABC News has learned the Secret Service quietly suspended 6 of its agents for a series of failures leading up to the shooting. Officials say the suspensions issued in recent months for supervisor level to line agents range between 10 to 42 days. It follows a lengthy review by the Secret Service and other investigators that uncovered, among other things, a failure to properly coordinate with local officials, a general lack of planning, and failure to secure the rooftop adjacent to Trump's podium, where the shooter was perched and where he was eventually killed by counter snipers. Today, the Secret Service announced of the more than 40 recommendations the investigations prompted, it's implemented 21 with another 16 in progress. These include changes to how the agency communicates with law enforcement and adds an aviation and airspace security division. Former acting director of the Secret Service, Ronald Rowe, peppered with questions on Capitol Hill during the early phase of the investigation last year.
I will not rush to judgment, that people will be held accountable, and I will do so with integrity and not rush to judgment and put people unfairly persecuted.
Unfairly persecuted?
Unfairly,
we've got people who are dead.
What I saw made me ashamed. I cannot defend why that roof was not better secured.
The attempt on Trump's life led to the killing of firefighter and attendee Corey Compertor. His wife spoke with Pittsburgh ABC affiliate WTAE 1 month after his death.
He definitely was a hero. He saved his wife, he saved his child, and he was just the best guy. He was just the best.
The Secret Service director at the time resigned 10 days after the shooting amid the fallout. As for the recent suspensions, the agents disciplined have the right to appeal. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Now taking a look behind the menu at local food establishment inspection reports. Inspectors found issues at 8 Victoria eateries, including Victoria's Cafe, where 24 demerits were given. Everest Food Mart had 23 demerits. Bird Dogs had 22 demerits. 5 Point Stop received 19 demerits. Veracruz had 18 demerits, and 16 demerits were given to Short Stop, as well as Smokos. And then 13 demerits were given to Papa John's Pizza. 9 eateries had no demerits and a perfect score. Those include Boone's Shake Barbecue, the Children's Discovery Museum, Marble Slab Creamery, Peter Piper Pizza, and Yummy Finds. In Port Lavaca, A-OK's, Magic Asian Cuisine, and Tacos Alvarado had a perfect score, along with All-Star Daycare and Preschool in Vanderbilt. The Texas A&M Forest Service is awarding $192 million to rural volunteer firefighters across Texas. The funding will help departments buy more fire trucks and new protective gear. City of Victoria Assistant Fire Chief Mark Martin says volunteer departments typically don't have the manpower that municipal departments do, and the grant could help reduce response times.
By itself allows them to operate in areas that they normally wouldn't be able to operate without it. The ability to replace one of those with a newer model with higher capabilities that would require less maintenance just because of its age is a game changer for them.
Martin says the community can support volunteer departments by holding fundraisers or raffles. Proceeds from those can help in purchasing new equipment. The A&M Forest Service grant should be awarded to volunteer departments in early 2026. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10. A new poll finds insurance companies have too much influence. What Democrats and Republicans think about the CDC's role. Plus, measles cases hit the highest level in decades. What experts are saying about the rising threat. The Trump administration is trying to reshape the federal government. That includes eliminating the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. The president wants states to take over the disaster response, but after last week's flooding in Texas and a similar problem that happened in North Carolina last year, people are speaking out. John King has more.
Hear that sound? It's the sound of excitement.
This is Corey Hampton's office, her source of income and of joy.
Woo!
But seeing the French Broad River is much more complicated now. The floodwaters 9 months ago changed everything.
We pulled people out of second-story windows in a river that just the day before had been calmer even than it is today.
Hampton and her husband Mitch run French Broad Adventures, but they also volunteer for the local raft rescue team. Days of exhausting rescues after the flooding, then weeks of worse.
Doing recovery work, and what that means is
looking for bodies.
It painted the river in a new light for me. I still see piles, and I wonder if there's somebody in it.
So
I still smell smells and think I should go look at that pile. It's hard to kind of switch back to the like, oh, everything's fun, no big deal.
Tiny Hot Springs flooded when debris turned this bridge into a dam. Most of downtown is still a mess. Hot Springs Mayor Abby Norton puts the build back at 40%.
What I thought Washington would do would be to immediately come in and either fix everything or supply the funds for us to fix everything. But that's not how it works.
Mayor Norton says she voted third party for president just weeks after the flood.
Is there a Biden difference or a Trump difference in what you have experienced?
First of all, I'm not a politician. I never have been. But it has been better under the Trump administration than it was under Biden. My opinion.
Is that because they're more receptive and responsive? Or
yes.
Is it because Biden was president when it was hell? Or
things are getting done faster. They are more responsive. We're getting a lot more help.
But the mayor is quick to say things still take too long, like waiting for federal help to rebuild the town offices. Now troubled when she hears the president talk of big FEMA changes.
FEMA doesn't need to be eliminated. The processes need to be easier, more user-friendly. No, I don't think it needs to be eliminated at all.
Or shifted to the states, or?
No.
The Victoria Police Department will host a free vehicle identification number or VIN etching event on Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon at Parkway Church. To read the full story and get more details, visit crossroadstoday.com. A new poll finds most Americans think insurance companies have too much influence on health policy. The Pew survey shows nearly 70% feel insurers play too big a role in health decisions across both parties. But Democrats and Republicans split on the CDC. More than half of Democrats say the agency doesn't have enough influence, while nearly half of Republicans say it has too much. 8 in 10 Americans agree that cancer, heart disease, obesity, and the opioid addiction epidemic are major health problems. Far fewer, only about a quarter, see measles or bird flu as top concerns. The U.S. is now seeing a 33-year high in measles cases, according to new CDC data. Most of the cases come from the 27 outbreaks reported this year, resulting in 3 deaths of unvaccinated people. ABC's Christiane Cordero has details from Washington.
New CDC data shows there are 1,288 confirmed cases of measles in 38 states nationwide, the highest number in more than 3 decades, and a huge spike from the 285 cases the CDC recorded last year.
Measles is not just a rash, George. Obviously, it can lead to death, hospitalization, pneumonia, encephalitis or brain swelling, and other longer-term complications.
3 people have died of measles so far this year, 1 adult, 2 children, all unvaccinated. An overwhelming 92% of the cases nationwide this year have been among unvaccinated people or those with an unknown vaccination status. Since the pandemic, vaccination rates have dropped significantly among children and have been below the threshold of what's considered herd immunity for at least 4 years now.
To reach herd immunity, where the community is protected, you need 95% of individuals to be vaccinated. Our rates for the last several years for kindergartners have been around 93%. For most of us who've gotten vaccinated, there's no need for an additional shot or booster. For individuals born before 1957, they are also considered protected or immune because they were likely exposed.
Before the vaccine became available in 1963, an estimated 400 to 500 people died of measles. Roughly 48,000 were hospitalized, and 1,000 suffered encephalitis, or swelling of the brain, each year.
One of the greatest things about the measles vaccine is its effectiveness. So a 2-dose vaccine will give you 97% effectiveness in terms of protecting you. 1 dose will be 93%.
Most of the cases this year have been from measles outbreaks, and Texas experienced a large one with 753 cases reported since January, though the rate has slowed down in recent weeks. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
New research shows people who exercise may lower their risk of dying early. Scientists in Australia analyzed 85 studies that looked at 7 million people worldwide. They found regular exercise that increases heart and breathing rates may reduce a person's risk of early death by up to 40%. The study's co-author said physical activity may be even more important for long-term health than previously thought. Researchers say regular exercise can help combat heart disease, which is the #1 killer of people in the world.
Well, good evening, everybody. For this weekend, for Friday and Saturday, you can get a chance to get out there and move around because we got sunshine and no rain. Look at that. We're at 80 degrees right about now. Managed to get up to 94 with sunshine. That's exactly where we're supposed to be this time of year, but it was the Saharan dust from the desert of Africa that came and shut down our rain chance. That's going to do that again tomorrow. We'll talk more about it after this. Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, we had a sunny day, and of course, that was all courtesy of the Saharan dust that blew in. Notice how most of the state of Texas was under sunny skies and obviously warmer weather. We got up into the 90s. We did have a few little pop-ups along the I-10 corridor, but that was about it. Otherwise, we actually needed the break. We needed a couple of days to get everything drained down and let the waters recede from the river as well. Tonight, high pressure is out over the southwest and it is pushing air around it this way. You can see how it's going that way. This is going to be busy in North Texas over the weekend if you happen to be traveling. For us, we're still going to be on the quiet side tomorrow. So look for lots of sun and outdoor weather and good chance to getting the roads to dry up. And I know the farmers' fields are all pretty soggy right now, so they could use a couple of days of drier weather. What happened in terms of rainfall over the last 12 hours was all basically up here along the I-10 corridor over there toward Hallettsville and Weimar and Katy, Texas. Yes, all right. So that's pretty much it. Now here's the plume of the dust that blew across the Atlantic. It was over us today. Tomorrow it'll be over us a little bit, but by the time we get to Friday, it actually pulls away as the upper winds start pushing all that dusty stuff away. But I look out into the Atlantic and I see another big plume of moisture. This one probably arriving on the Gulf Coast, I'm going to say about Tuesday of next week. So we are going to get more sunny, dry weather next week, even though over the weekend we may have a sprinkle or two. The river has already crested here in Victoria. Crested yesterday at 17 feet. It's now down below action stage, so it's down to about 9 feet, and it's going to have a little bit of a rise because of the recent rains before it gets back down to normal levels. It's amazing, the river, the Guadalupe River up in Hunt and Kerrville is back down about 4 or 5 feet after being at 30 feet. So it was amazing how that all worked out. Here's another interesting thing. The Atlantic is kind of quiet right now. I mean, we've had 3 named systems, but there's nothing brewing in the next 7 days out there. In the Pacific, which has been very active, they also have a quiet period as well. So here's tonight, and here we go forward tomorrow. You can see the clouds coming in with the sea breeze. We may have a few little pop-ups, mostly inland, not so much here along the coast. And then you can see that on Friday, or rather Saturday, big clusters of storms come into North Texas. Well, the sea breeze going that way and that coming this way, there's going to be a kaboom right about here along I-35, Central Texas, if you happen to be traveling that far. But if you're in town, got no problems. So we will have a few little showers in the inland areas over the weekend, but not tomorrow. Tomorrow we're looking for a 91 in Port Lavaca. We're looking for a 91 also in the Cuero area. Pretty good looking day tomorrow. If you have to get outdoors, it's a good one. Then as we get to the weekend, the plume, the dust plume blows away. And for a couple of days, we have a slight chance of some garden variety showers until Monday. Then that's that second surge of dust that is going to give us more sunshine and drier weather middle of next week. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, and you can put Crossroads Today on your phone, and we can send you all the weather warnings that come out that are necessary for you to know about. All right, this is the last night, folks. Before 11:59, it's your last chance to join in and go to Crossroads Today and see if you are lucky enough to catch a whole house generator. Thanks to our friends at Aztec Ford in Goliad, we're giving this generator tomorrow morning. They're going to start pulling the names, and the winner will be announced tomorrow evening. So this is it until about midnight. If you haven't done it yet, just get on the computer and put your name in there. All right, that is it from the weather front. We'll toss it over to Maxwell with sports.
Yeah, Mac, I can't wait to see who wins that generator there tomorrow. We'll get to know, like you said there, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening for our shows. But for tonight, though, we got our athlete of the week, and I'm going to tell you who that is coming up in sports. Our coverage for the TAF Regionals will continue for Cuero Track Select Club as we're going to give our Athlete of the Week to runner and high jumper there, Grace Martinez. Here's more for our Athlete of the Week. This week's Athlete of the Week, we're heading into Cuero Track Select Club runner and high jumper Gracie Martinez. She'll be competing in the 400, 800, and high jump there at the TAF Regionals in College Station this upcoming weekend. Now, out of all the three events, she says the 800 is her favorite, and she says why that's the case.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a good while, so I just became good at it.
With Martinez's passion for running, she wants this upcoming season to be her best, knowing she only has 2 more years out on the track.
I like it to be like that. It definitely is a little starting to get sad because I know I just have this year and next year.
This mentality, knowing she's towards the finish line, drives Martinez to compete, and she hopes to shed no sense of nerves heading into regionals.
Really nervous before a track meet, but I guess I could say like I'm prepared. I've been doing it for a long time, so it's just something I got used to.
Martinez also plans to showcase her leadership abilities during practices leading up to regionals. She likes to keep everyone on the track and just to stay focused the entire time.
Just to keep them in their lane, check them, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Gracie and the Cuero Track Select Club are excited for regionals there in College Station. Can't wait to see what they do on the track. Congrats to Gracie Martinez for being this week's Athlete of the Week. All right, now to a big signing from Cuero star softball slugger Juliana Cox. She announced her commitment to Blinn College. She helped the Lady Gobblers last season to go to 21-8-1 overall, and then 9-1 in district play. And she also led the Gobblers there in stats as well. Batting average had a .578 and then had 11 home runs there last season. So congrats to the major signing commitment for the Cuero softball star
Juliana Cox. And how about big sign of the Victoria Generals? They were back home tonight versus the Brazos Valley Bombers. And tonight was another free ticket night there for the Generals, presented by Invista. And all fans before the game were given all red shirts and hopefully thought this could help out the Generals, right? Well, the first couple innings, it was a defensive pitching battle. It was about 0-0 going into the fifth, and the Generals got, again, a two-run shot literally right as I left, folks. The Generals got a two-run shot there from Caleb Cotton, but then 4 runs would score there for the Bombers there in the 8th inning. And again, they would take the win there 5-3. The Bombers currently are 10-1 right now in the first part of the season. Again, for the Generals, they are now they're 8-2. And finally, how about some NBA Summer League action, right? We had the #1 pick in the NBA draft, and Cooper Flagg. He played his NBA debut game against the Los Angeles Lakers and ended up having 10 points tonight. And he played 32 minutes of game action for Cooper Flagg. So this would help the Mavericks. They would end up winning the game 87-85 out there in Las Vegas. So the Mavericks, they're back in action versus San Antonio Spurs in Las Vegas for Summer League action. That'll be Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. on ESPN. And that's going to do it here in sports. Shauna, back to you.
Well, stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10. She's not on payroll, but she's still in charge. How a wild goose has earned the nickname Lucifer.
Miss me when I'm gone.
Do you have any shame?
I do not.
Tell it all.
I do. That's my business. Can I tell my business, Mama?
Keep a secret.
I got a couple.
Everyone's favorite pygmy hippo is turning 1. Fans from around the world have gathered at a Thailand zoo to celebrate Moo Dang's first birthday. There she is. Okay. On Thursday, she was gifted a massive tropical fruit platter that she quickly devoured. The birthday festivities will continue for 4 days. The zoo, which is 2 hours outside of Bangkok, says its number of visitors has spiked since Moo Dang's birth last summer. The baby became a social media sensation after videos of her adorable antics went viral. She's definitely plumped up a little bit over the last year and still cute and adorable. Well, she doesn't wear a badge, but she runs the place. Meet Lucy, short for Lucifer, the unofficial guard goose of the Colorado State Patrol Academy. She showed up a few months ago and quickly took over cars. Yeah, fair game. Roofs, her favorite spot. Troopers keep their distance. Some even ditch their vehicles to avoid her. And if you're wondering, she leaves gifts behind. One officer calls it Poopcasso. Lucy only hops down for food and water, then she's back on patrol. Feathered, feisty, and unbothered by rank.
Gifts.
So she looks comfy. She's like, hey, I rule the roost.
Take it over the land, take it over the spot.
So.
Nothing moves without Lucy knowing about it.
Nope.
Well, folks, want to tell you about these things. These are refrigerator magnets. They're always kind of fun, but we're doing this for you guys because we want you to know about our Weatherline number. Now, it's been here for many, many years, the Weatherline there, but people still call it, and so we still provide the service to get a phone forecast whenever you need it. But here's the trick. you have to come to the station and go to the lobby to pick one of these up for free. And Maria's very nice. She makes sure you get one. So if you want one, here we are at 3808 North Navarro to pick one up. Your forecast for tomorrow, sunshine as all the dust is finally blown away. There's your forecast for tomorrow.
All right, well, tomorrow is Friday. Literally, it is National French Fry Day, so make sure you get out there and get your favorite French fries. Burgers and fries, that's right. Well, thanks for joining us. Jimmy Kimmel Live starts now. Have a great night.